weeks. Has he done enough to play this week, do you think?
One more session to go today. So with Ben, we're not making any calls until he's ticked every box. Just obviously the nature of how much footy he's missed, his recent injury history as well. So we've got main training today. He'll do that. Hopefully he gets through that, and then we'll have our decision to make. So in our discussions with Ben, it's always been, let's make sure we've ticked every single box before we've made the decision. So we'll have that conversation today after training.
Is it sore from the VFL out?
General soreness, so as you'd expect from so much time out, but nothing substantially enough to say he should miss any footy this week or be in doubt with anything. It's just got to weigh up as well that it's a 6-day break and a flight. So it's like, is he at the stage where we can go, yep, he's right to go, he's pulled up well enough, and we'll find out today when he gets through majority of training if he's up to that level.
Is the concern, I guess, you really want to make sure he's here for that home game in the last round? Is that one of the major considerations? Like, you don't want him to go over there, injure himself, then the home fans don't get to see him at all? Is that one of the considerations?
No, not necessarily. Okay. It's just about giving him the best opportunity to still contribute as well. He's such a proud person, and he'll still expect to go out there and get 30 touches because that's just the champion he is. So we've got to give him the best opportunity from a recovery point of view to go, you know what, are you ready to go? And can you contribute to a level that's going to help us win in games of footy? We know that he's going to help us, but is it off a 6-day break with a flight, or is it giving him another week in the VFL to get some more conditioning and then get him right for the last game of the year?
If he's choosing, is he going on that flight?
I would say so, yes. So and he deserves, I think, to have a little bit of a say in it. He's done so much for this footy club for such a long period of time that basically between our coaches, the medical team and Ben, we'll make that decision this afternoon. But I'm pretty sure he'll want to be on that flight.
Ben Mackay, how's he tracking for this week?
Yeah, he was tracking well for last week too, I thought. So we expect him to play. We've got main training today. He'll do all the training. If he gets through that, I would assume he's right to go. Yeah.
And I mean, there was a few bizarre moments, I guess, involving Jaden Stevenson on the weekend. Have you gone through the tape with him with the goals, the Buddy goal and the Goulden goal? Have you gone through
we have. Yeah, we spoke to him about it this week, and as I said to him, I'm not disappointed one bit about the missed kick. We expect him to take risks with his ball use because he's such a good user of the ball. What the expectation is, once he makes that mistake, is he moves on really quickly and gets back onto it. So he'll learn from that. He hasn't spent a lot of time in defence, so normally when he makes a mistake up the field, you don't have to turn into defence as quickly. So he'll learn from that mistake, and we expect him to be better for it this week.
And I guess there's been talk this week that Cam Zurhaar has been approached by Essendon. There's a report going around. I mean, how keen are you guys to really make sure that you do lock him away for the next couple of years at least?
As a coach, I want to lock him away for the next 2 days, 2 weeks. But yeah, apart from that, with list management decisions, I'm clearly not involved in any of them at the moment. So what I can say is he's playing some good footy at the moment, and I would personally love him to stay. But it's going to be up to them. But fingers crossed he stays.
What do you make of the Crows form? They're kind of coming home with a bit of the wet sail, I should say. And that forward line, especially with Poverty and Tex, is starting to do some damage.
Yeah, they're looking really good. The contested stuff around the ball has been, I think, number one in the comp last month. So the clearance, contested possession, their ability to get onto the loose ball with Rory Laird, Keys, a couple of their young guys in there are going really well as well. So we've spoken a lot since I took over about being a really good contested team, and we've been really up and down. So Richmond good, poor against Hawthorn, good against Essendon, poor on the weekend against Sydney. So it'll be a really good test for us to match it. We feel if we match it in that area, our forwards are just as dangerous going back the other way with Larky and Zurhaar and those guys. So it's going to be a real strong midfield battle this week.
Just on Zurhaar, obviously weighing up his future, you guys don't have a coach locked in yet for next year. Does that make it more difficult to kind of sell North Melbourne to a guy like Cam?
Yeah, without speaking for Cam, I would assume that would play a fair role in it. He'd probably want to know who's going to be the coach next year, and it's fair enough. Everyone would like to know who their boss is when they're going to work, and hopefully that gets sorted when it does, and then that makes it easier for him to make a decision, and hopefully it's to stay here.
So you guys have made it clear that you're going after Clarko. You've had an opportunity to kind of experience senior coaching. I wonder whether that has kind of maybe changed your plans for next year, or what your hopes and aspirations are. Have they changed from that?
Not at this stage, no. To be completely honest with you, I haven't put any thought into into future plans. I just want to get through this 6-week period that I've got, and then wait and see what happens with the new coach, and then I'll look to see what's the best thing for hopefully me. Hopefully it's still here, because I love this footy club, and I want to see us get back up the ladder as quick as possible, and hopefully whoever the new coach is wants me around.
Can I ask, I mean, with we've heard new revelations about the infamous Adelaide camp from 4 years ago. Obviously, Hugh Greenwood is now here, and Tom Lynch. Have you guys had to have like a chat to those fellas? You know, maybe they may have brought up emotions that they may have brought up again.
Yeah, no. To be completely honest with you, there's been no signs of them having any issue with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't touched on it. We've sort of just let it go, and those guys have been fine. And Huey's playing pretty good footy, so yeah, it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, and I guess on the weekend there was reports, obviously, you know, the reunion between Wayne Carey and Anthony Stevens, a bit of an altercation, I guess, of some description. It was a bit disappointing, I guess, to hear that over such what was meant to be a pretty good weekend for 25-year reunion.
Yeah, things like that happen. It's, you know, obviously they're great to our footy club, and we all know what's happened in the past there. But it doesn't really concern us as a footy club. We sort of let that play out and move on, and worry about what we can do on field and during the week here.
Clarkie, the 7 goals and up against a pretty formidable defence. I mean, how encouraging is his development, particularly given he's not getting the best looks all the time? What do you think his ceiling potential?
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I think he can be a really, really good player. I think particularly in the last 4 weeks we've been able to get the ball in there, probably still not as much as we'd like, but with a little bit more flow and pace on it. We know he's a little bit of a different forward compared to a lot in the comp, where he's not a big contested mark player, but he's really, really good with his craft and his ability to get separation off his opponent. So the quicker and the better we move the ball, the more opportunities he's had, and he's I think he started the year off, he was right up there in the Coleman, and then had a bit of a lull, and he seems to be coming back pretty well the last few weeks. So if you can get a little bit more consistency, and that's probably going to come off our ball movement, he could be a pretty formidable long-term forward for us, that's for sure.